8 version.
Going hot.
Welcome back to the long range shooter. Now I have to apologize in advance because this video was actually supposed to go up before the actual bullet coating process, where I quickly just speak about the HBN coating itself. However, when I was editing the video, I saw that I really wasn't happy with the video. I was quite tired, so I decided to redo it, which is what you're going to see now. Now, the purpose of this video is just to be able to compare HBN to its closest competitor, which I am aware of, which is typically something like Moly, and we can really see where the advantages of using HBN lies. Now, basically what I've just done here is made up a little list of why you should coat your bullets, and I don't know if you can read my handwriting, but I will just read this to you. Now, coating bullets is not a must. It is generally considered to be in the advanced section of reloading and shooting. When you coat your bullets, it just means you are looking for maybe more performance or better performance out of your bullets. And what coating your bullets typically does for you is it reduces the friction, and that's the frictional contact between the copper jacket of your bullet and the inside of your bore of your rifle. Typically there is less fouling to be found inside your barrel, so that's less copper lead residue, which is part of the bullet giving off. And the coating also has the ability to better protect the throat of your rifle, so that prevents that extreme torching effect that the high pressure concentrated flame at the initial part of the firing cycle. There's also a possible increase in consistency, so that means your extreme spread, your standard deviation, all of those figures should look better. Why? Because you have a more consistent grip on your bullet. You've got a better release, as some of the bullets might tend to stick a bit longer before releasing, or before the neck actually releases on your bullet. However, if you stick to the same charge of powder weight and you chronograph coated bullets versus non-coated bullets, you might see a decrease in velocity, because less friction means less pressure, and less pressure means less velocity. So when you do coat your bullets, you are most likely going to have to increase your powder charge to be able to get back to that velocity where you were, to be on that node that you found during your low development. Now, moving on, I said I wanted to compare this HBN to its closest competitor, and according to my knowledge that would be something like a Moly coat. Now, Moly coat is based on the element on the periodic table of elements, which is called molybdenum, and this has a sort of a graphite or a dark appearance. Now, the thing that I find the problem to be with the Moly coating is that it's got quite a low melting point, and you see a lot of commercial bullets or commercial ammunition have a Moly type coating on the bullet itself, and then you'll see, I know Winchester typically does it where it's got a black coating, but that tends to have a low melting point, and it's roughly in the region of 600 degrees. Now, that flame that burns is a lot hotter than that, and that typically tends to melt the Moly coating, so it gives off onto your barrel and it is hard to clean. It forms a sticky mess, and I've heard that people are not very fond of this, and it has been used for a while, but since something like HBN has been discovered, Moly coating has really fallen out of competition. Now, HBN is very interesting because it was originally used to coat the hinges on autoclaves, which are big ovens. So you can imagine those ovens typically get very hot, and you do not want your lubricant to melt, otherwise you're going to run into problems. Now, the melting point of HBN is roughly in the region of 2900 degrees Celsius. So you can see that's at least 3 to 4 times higher than your typical moly coating, which is good. It does not melt. It is much easier to clean out of your barrel than moly coating because it doesn't burn onto your lands and grooves, and it's very easy to coat. It's, according to my knowledge, easier to coat than using moly, for example. The disadvantage of the HBN was that it was very scarce. I know David Tubb, he's got some kits that he's got for sale, but for someone in South Africa it's typically difficult to get this in hand. Luckily, this company CMH came to the rescue, and just to give you an idea, this is what their packaging looks like. And you can now get these HBN kits through CMH. I will put the link up here somewhere, and then I'll put their information down in the description below as well. So if you want to go and check it out, feel free. I've got some experience with CMH, and I must say they are really friendly and they're really helpful and they know what they are doing. So feel free to check that out. Another thing that I want to address is actually a comment that a viewer made in my previous HBN video, and that was regarding bullet coating and the break-in process. So the viewer actually wanted to know, should they break their barrel in before coating their barrel and their bullets with HBN, or can they break their barrel in while it's coated and having coated bullets? Now, there are many answers, or a couple of answers to this, but if we look at the reason why we break in a barrel, it's to remove the reamer marks that scratch off fine copper particles off your bullet jacket and end up almost fusing onto your bore or your lance or so forth. For that reason, we actually want to create a friction coefficient as high as possible so that we can remove the reamer marks, create more wear to create a smoother surface for the bullet to travel down. And for that reason, I would only coat my bullets and my barrel after I've done the break-in process. This is simply just to keep that high friction coefficient so we can quickly wear off the reamer marks. The other thing that I just remembered while talking about this is the fact that HBN is non-toxic. So if you have a paper punching bullet, or if you have a target shooting bullet that you're confident to hunt with, such as a Berger VLD, you can hunt with a coated bullet. It's non-toxic, it's not going to cause any spoils to your meat, so there's really no reason why you shouldn't consider using this HBN. Anyways guys, I hope you learned something again, and then I will see you next time.